If your ink's too slow and your nib won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to see you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hello folks, Larry here, and welcome to Zoom Pen Hangout. And today is my special guest, Frank from Federalist Pens and Paper. Now, I want to bring on Frank to let him talk about a lot of things, and I mean a lot of things that he doesn't really have a chance to talk about, because people may think that he's just a small little guy, but Frank is incredible. He has a very large selection of different things that you may not heard of or seen. And the reason why I know it, because Frank has showed me some of these things, and I was like, Frank, I even never knew you carried this kind of things before. People that need like ballpoint pens or refills for ballpoint pens, depending what it is, mechanical pencils, etc. He's got stuff that's beyond your wildest dream. So I am going to let Mr. Frank from Federalist Pens and Paper talk to you a bit about what he has at his store and where he's going to be, and a little this and a little that. Frank, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you doing?
Great, Larry. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on your show. Always good.
It's all yours.
It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yes, it
Too
has.
long.
Sorry, I missed the last couple. Been going back to pen shows. Real excited about that. Doing a little bit of everything. So yeah, glad to be back at pen shows. Glad to be back at events. It's the year wound up actually really good, and looking forward to 2022 and maybe having all of our pen shows and having events, the Pelican Hub, all kinds of other events, and my seasonal store and all that good stuff next year. So it should be great.
Good. So Frank, tell us what's going on right now. You are attending all the shows right now, or just certain shows?
I've been to 5 pen shows already this year. We've been back to pen shows since June, since the Raleigh Pen Show. I just came back from Chicago a couple weeks ago, and that was my 5th show. I think that was the 7th show that ran. And I'm going to 2 more shows. I'm going to Detroit in 2 weeks. Halloween weekend is the Detroit Pen Show. And then in roughly 4 weeks, 2 weeks after that, will be the Ohio Pen Show, the Columbus Pen Show. And I know Denver was canceled, so that would have been total of 10 shows. I think we're gonna have 9. So I'm going to the last 2 pen shows scheduled this year. And yeah, I already know that the Philly Pen Show is scheduled to run in mid-January like it usually does. That will run. My home show, real excited about that. The Baltimore Pen Show will run. The Long Island Pen Show is going to run. The Chicago Pen Show is going to run in May, like it has before. So I'm scheduled to go to 12 shows next year. So excited about that, and they should run, and that should be really great.
So is there anything people need to look for when they go to pen shows? Are they doing the mask? Are they doing the social distance? What?
Yeah, it really depends. Most shows are mask required, and all, and of course there's sanitizing stations and things like that. So again, good practices. I just went to a local show from one of our Philly Pen Club things, and we had to show our Vax cards. So again, it really depends on the organizers, the venue where you're getting it, where you're taking the show to, the state, the mandates there. So we're all doing our part, and we're doing what we have to do, to get back to some degree of normal and get to these shows.
One thing I do want to ask you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to, because you know me, Creepy Larry. You think you're ever going to come to the Dallas Pen Show?
We've always talked about this. It was actually offered to me this year, and I hope to. I hope to actually possibly do that next year. It would actually be great to see you in person. We've been friends for well over a year now. We're almost working on 2 years. We've been doing these little events, you and I together, for a good year and a half now. and it would be great to actually see in person. Yeah, to have you
Well,
come see me and
Mr.
see my
Announcer and
table.
I, we're going to be sitting in your booth with you for a while.
It'd be
And
great.
Lord knows you're going to have a lot of tables there, though. So, yeah.
Hey, there's always room. You're welcome. I have 5 tables at pen shows. I have a lot of stuff, and you're always welcome to come help out.
Well, thank you. I can't wait to meet you. Well, let's be exact. I actually met you in 2015. Believe it or not, it's been that long ago. Yes.
Okay.
Met you here, and we've been friends ever since that.
Okay.
And then you've been really helping me through all these years. We've been hanging out, and from time to time you would send me something to review, and but we've been hanging out for a long time already. So Mr. Announcer said, I wonder if he's ever going to come to Dallas. So I'm trying to get him. So,
thank you.
but hopefully you will.
You're right. I forgot I was sending you stuff before I was even on the channel with you. You're right. I was.
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. And I never get tired of having you. For one thing, you have such a big selection of all kinds of things that you never really get to them. And when you're on our Zoom to hang out, you're able to talk about different things. But still, because we're so busy on Zoom, people asking questions, you never have the chance or the opportunity to go into depth on what you have. And to me, that's important, because there's a lot of things you carry that people don't even know you carry. So there. So what I want to do now is like, okay, before I totally give it to you, like, here is a simple Conklin Durograph, right? And you carry the Durograph line, right?
Yes.
And then here's the Conklin Beautiful All-American, which all these came from your store.
Definitely.
Beautiful, just gorgeous, one of my favorite all-time colors, and they write really well. And you carry all the lines of the All-American and the Durograph. How about Monteverde? You got those going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about Platinum? You carry Platinum?
Platinum, I do. Most of you might have heard at this point that Platinum is actually going to stop making its President line, which is the bigger pen, the one above the 3776. But yeah, everything from Platinum 3776, including limited editions that I might still have available. I don't have Compu, people, sorry. No dealer does at this point. You're basically buying that, third party. If you go find it new, you're definitely buying a third party, where you're buying it used, in auctions or eBay, etc. But yes, everything from the 3776 line on down, I carry.
Okay. Let's see what Pilot.
Pilot, yes, definitely. Pilot, we're talking about Pilot today as well. Yes.
Now, was it Pilot or was it Platinum? Somebody is going to be going up in price a little bit. I read somewhere. I forgot which one.
Everybody's had a price increase this year.
So if people see the increase, it's not you that's doing it. It's automatically across the board. Yeah.
Sure. It's the maker, and they send that off to the distributor. We all have supply chain concerns and worries, supply chains, precious metals prices, gold and silver prices increasing, vendor cost of that, all these things add up. And yes, all of us dealers that sell the product, we all have to sell it, at the same list price. We're all allowed to discount some products. Some products can be discounted. Basically, the distributor maker tells us what we can and can't discount. This is why, like, some of the special limited edition 3776 pens cannot be discounted. None of us are allowed to discount them. We can't advertise that. We're allowed to, at best, we're allowed to allow a 20% discount off the list, or 10 or none at all. And we all have to abide by this. We all agree to the same contract. Which
is a good idea. Yeah. Now, do you, here's one for you. Noodlers popped in my head. Do you still carry, do you carry any of the Noodlers pens still?
I carry the triple tail Noodlers, which is a personal favorite of mine. I've found that to be the most stable of all the pens. Stable meaning ink doesn't blurb out. It's the triple tail. This is the music nib. This is the 3-time music nib.
Yeah, I have that one.
Tail. Yes. Yeah. This is the one that I tell LBA, the one that I want to carry. Speaking of that, Noodlers did have a price increase. October 1st, the inks went up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
The standard inks are now $14, and the special edition inks are $19.50.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. I'm glad you brought that one up. Yeah, Noodlers. Yeah, that's going to be going up a bit. Yep. Yep. That triple tail, again, we've talked about it before. That is a monster pen. That is a great pen. And I'm surprised that pen just didn't flying off the shelves. It's that good of a fountain pen.
It's a great pen.
Yeah,
it
and
really
it's
is.
affordable too. It's really.
It is. Yep.
If people would give it a chance, they would say, "Wow, this is a good pen." So
it's $55. It's a great deal. It's a great looking pen.
So now you carry Visconti, right?
Certainly. Yep.
Do you carry all the lines? I mean, the low ends to the mid-range, high end?
I carry all of Homo sapiens products on down, basically. Higher end pens, I'll generally tend to drop ship, but I always have that on hand. I have Homo sapiens pens, even the mineral ones, the gems that are $9.99 list. I carry them. I have the Opera Demo Carousel pens, the lucite ones, the ones that even have the lucite power filler. I have them on hand. And yes, I have Van Goghs and Rembrandts, Breeze, all of them.
Now here's one here. I wasn't sure or not. First of all, do you carry any Edison pens?
No, I actually don't carry Edison pens. Brian and I go way back. He goes back to my forum days. He actually used to help me when I ran the Fountain Pen Community Pen Forum. If you guys go to my Facebook group page, I have Fountain Pen Community on there. It's one of the Facebook pages, group pages that I actually run that, along with my personal page and Federalist Pens page. Actually, I just had a little thing about that. You might have seen that recently, where I was like, please don't post ads here. You know who I am. If I wanted, ads on the Fountain Pen Community page, I would be posting them. I want that page strictly for pen fans, pen pals to talk about products, to review pens. I'm a big supporter of pen makers. Brian and I, getting back to that, Brian and I do go way back. I like his product. I have a couple of Edison pens myself in my own personal collection. I haven't represented him, and that's fine. But he did actually used to give me free pens for giveaways when I used to do giveaways to try and keep forum dues going. We would do raffles. I did that with Brian for Edison.
I don't think you carry Sailor, do you?
I don't. No.
Okay.
Okay, get back. No, I don't carry Sailor. Don't carry Sailor pens. I do carry a lot of brands. Some brands some distributors haven't approached me. I'm a big proponent of pens that I personally like.
Okay.
People are like, you don't carry this brand, you don't carry that brand.
Yeah.
I really have to believe in the product. There's a brand, that we've talked about. I've even mentioned this on some pen pal Zooms with us and all. They're like, you don't carry this brand. If I have a lot of problems with that brand personally, I don't believe in it, and I don't want to carry it on the site. I am a known dealer. I'm not the biggest one out there, certainly. My reputation is growing. I've been in business now 6 years. I don't want to carry a brand that I'm gonna have to worry about returning every 30 to 90 days. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to represent it. I've launched a lot of brands. I've bought a lot of brands to the US. A lot of people don't realize or have a hard time realizing that I bought Robert Oster inks to the US. And Rob and I go way back. We go back to when he started 5 years ago. We became Facebook friends. He asked me if I wanted to represent him in the US. I debuted him at the 2016 DC show. He had just started making inks. I've bought pen brands to the US. I'm big on Indian brands right now. Click and Magna Carta pens. I have some of them pens to show off. We'll get into them.
So, okay, you carry Lamy and Kaweco. right?
Yes, you got it.
Yeah, and those are well, Lamy is one of my another favorite of mine. It's just, I just like them. Do they have any new ones coming out that you know of?
Yeah, Lami's a big personal favorite of mine too. I was glad that I've carried them basically since I started. I have a lot of Lamy in my own collection. There's always something new coming out with Lamy. There's a new edition pen coming out. Idios, I think it's called, IDEOS. I'm going to get more information about that. I've ordered them. We're just waiting for them to come in. I did announce, we talked about different price levels of pens and all that. So my favorite pen, my go-to pen at the $100 or less level is going to be the Studio. And the latest Studio is known as Black Forest. Now, it's hard for you to capture this, but this pen has to be seen in person to be appreciated. You could see it now. There's actually sheen and glitter to this pen. You can never capture this on pictures. It's very hard to see this in pictures. It doesn't photograph well, but there is actually sheen to this pen. And once the people see it, they're like, wow, there's glitter to this pen. It's like, yeah, these are aluminum pens. These are the Studio pens. This is the matte black compared to this Black Forest that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And you could see them together, that there's actually a gray sheen to the
Right.
Black Forest once you see it in person compared to the black one. Studio pens, there's a lot of them. There's like 8 or 9 different colors now, starting with the original steel aluminum. And, you know, there's terracotta, there's imperial blue, there's matte black. Again, the pen lists for $99.99. I sell them for $90. We take 10% off. It does come with a converter for those pens. And, you know, it's really, really a nice
Now,
pen for the money.
one of them, is it the Studio or the other one that has come with a gold nib now?
Yeah, well, anything above the Studio, like you said, tends to come with gold nibs. It could be the Scala. It could be the 2000, of course. I carry 2000. I carry all nib widths, 2000, extra fine, medium, and broad. That pen has also had price increases. People have a hard time believing they have to spend $200 for this pen now on sale, because the pen lists for $249.99, and we all sell it now for $199. You know, that is the price of the pen. Unfortunately, that is the new sale price.
Okay.
Gold has gone up. These pens are white gold. The nib is 18 karat gold, and that is the price. And I do include a bottle of ink now with my 2000 pens.
Now, talk about Lebanon. You still carry them? Is that right, Lebanon? Am I saying it right?
You mean Lebanon? L-A-B-A-N? Lebanon.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Lebanon.
yeah.
I definitely have them. Yeah, I started with them as well. I actually like Lebanon pens.
Now, where do they originate from? Tell us a little bit about that pen.
Lebanon pens are from Taiwan.
Okay.
They use materials from all over. They'll get their resins from Europe, from Italy. Their nibs are either Bach or Yogo, depending on the model. But yeah, the pens are made in Taiwan. So Lebanon USA, they have a distributor here. They have an in-house distributor. He comes to pen shows too, represents us, supports me. Inks are the latest and greatest things from Lebanon. Lebanon inks, Greek inks. They started with 5 colors. They're named after Greek gods. They just added 5 more colors. Now there's 10 total. I did advertise that on social media. Zeus is Zeus purple. So the king of the gods, Zeus, they have purple for him, royal ink. There's Athena in gray. There's Hermes in light blue, sky blue. Ares, the god of war, red. Hera, Zeus's wife, is a dark green. Another nice regal color for serenity.
So how is that ink taking off? I've never actually seen it, just the boxes of it.
Yeah, the inks are doing really well. I've actually sold out of most of the new ones already. I just got them last week. Did an advertising, sold, the 3 or 4 of each bottle color I had. I'm actually getting more in this week, and yeah, it's taken off. People do love the latest and greatest colors in their inks.
Now, let me point out one thing, because people have asked me about Federalist pens and paper. They don't carry Twisbys. I said, no, they do not carry Twisbys. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's getting into what I discussed earlier.
Right. I'm just saying.
I talk about a brand one way or another. I don't carry Twisby, and
that's his choice. I said, that's up to him, and he carries what he feels will sell, that will work well for him, because not everybody carries the same thing. So I just wanted to make that clear, so people.
I appreciate the fact that people love Twisby, and great. Enjoy your product.
Yeah. I mean, it's everybody has their own views and opinions and likes and dislikes. And I said that goes for all dealers too. I said you'll find other dealers that don't carry the same line that Frank carries. So
exactly.
So okay, that's cool. So do you carry Gentile pens?
No, I don't. I know Gentile's been around for years. Their price point basically, makes it so low you could just buy on eBay or buy it directly for them overseas and have it imported in, and just bring it in. Despite the fact that, shipping is really high overseas, there's not too many dealers that do Gentile. I know there's a couple, and that's fine. Gentile is saturated enough in the market; it doesn't need another dealer. And that's my opinion.
Tell me, or rather tell the viewers about pens that you have for $40 and under. Mention some of those.
Very good. We did talk about this for my $20 or less. I basically want to give mentions to Platinum. Platinum makes a model known as the pre-font. I know that you guys have a picture of this too.
Yes, excellent.
The pre-font pen comes prepackaged this way with a included cartridge. This is basically an upscale Preppy. The Preppy is now $6.
Right.
In the 0.03 or 0.05 line, they come up with a more colorful model they call the pre-font. Which comes in a variety of different colors, again, in 0.3 fine or 0.5 medium.
Okay, excuse me, let me interrupt. Hold your thought right there. Let's talk about that one for a minute. Let's talk about the nibs on that one. Because they come, and correct me if I'm wrong, 03, 02, I think 01, and those stands for what, fine, medium? Can you explain?
They come 0.2 for extra fine in Preppies, and they come 0.3 or 0.5 in Preppy, Pre-Font, and Plaisir.
Okay.
There's 3 ones.
So they come
4 total models that use the same section and nib front.
So both nibs can interchange, can't they?
They can interchange. Yep.
Yeah.
They can interchange.
Okay. So again, they come in extra fine, fine, and medium.
Yes.
Right, but they don't come in broad, right?
No.
Okay. All right. And they come with a cartridge.
They come with a cartridge. Yep.
Can people buy converters for them?
Oh yeah, they certainly can. You could buy the standard Platinum converter. The issue is the Platinum converter is $10, and when you look at the Preppy, you're paying more for the converter. When you look at the Pre-Font, you're paying just as much for the converter as you are the pen. And then you move into the Plaisir.
People like me, I like both pens so much. I don't mind investing in buying a $10 converter for me so I can change inks, because I like the pen. They're a fun pen. I mean, we're talking about a fun pen. Come on now, that's it. And people may complain, oh, that's too much money for a converter. Well, that's fine. Then don't buy it. There's people like me that don't mind putting $10 in for a converter because we like these pens so much. They're just fun pens. I mean, they're nothing extravagant. No. But you're not breaking the bank either.
Great EDCs, they're workhorses. You don't
Yeah,
have to worry
yeah,
about them. If you
exactly.
drop it, it's
Yeah.
going to be fine. And
Yeah.
if something happens to it, you go buy another one.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
that
The
price
whole
point,
point. It's, yeah,
that's it. Exactly.
yeah. Use a little logic there. That's the whole bottom line. Now, okay, what? Keep on going with your pen line. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. That's my workhorse for the $20 or less. That's my recommendation at that price point. We move on to the $40 or less, and I would move on to Click.
Click.
Fountain pens,
Yes, Click. Let's
which
talk about it.
I
Yes.
have bought into the US. People are like Fountain Pen Revolution has Click pens. Yes, Kevin does have Click pens, his own Click pens. Kevin actually has Click make pens specifically for him. I am carrying Click's own, their production pens.
Right.
This is one of their production pens. So this is the Click Renaissance pen. This pen is $45 US. $45. This is the price point that Harsh and I agreed on. This pen, he wanted it to be under $50. So
now let me say this real quick. I've done a review on this pen. I've really done an honest review because the gentleman himself sent me the pen to review. And I again want to thank him. I told him I would do an update again, and I will. The pen for $45 for that pen that Frank's holding in his hand. I'm not trying to fool you, but I'm trying to. The pen is worth more than that. When you actually see it in your hand, and then you actually get it to write, you're going to say, "Wow, $45 for this pen? How possible is this?" But it is incredible fountain pen. The fountain pen will speak for itself. You've got to give it a chance. You've got to reach out, and this pen is amazing. Yep.
you can see there it says Click on the pen.
Right.
It comes fine, medium, broad, and flex.
And flex. Yep. So,
And
it does come with a
that
converter,
price point.
doesn't it? Doesn't it come with a converter? Yeah.
It comes with a converter and 2 ink cartridges. It comes with a complete set. It comes warranty information and instructions, and it comes in the box like this. I gotta fix this. And it comes in the box, the presentation, with 2 cartridges.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
That's what fell out on the computer.
Well, that's
So
how
it comes with 2 cartridges and a converter in the pen.
It really is a nice pen. I'm telling you. Yep. And okay, you have the blue one. You have the white and black, right?
Oh, there's 8 different ones right now. Yeah, this is how it comes. This is the presentation: pen, cartridges, converter. It comes in his original ones that he did after Artist, the Raphael red and black.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Comes in Da Vinci orange and black, which resembles another well-known pen that we know.
Yes. Yeah.
It comes in the Michelangelo white
Yeah.
and black. It comes in this Baltic blue, which actually has gold trim. It comes in glacier blue, which is like a teal. It comes in jade green. It comes in ruby red. It comes in a purple, dark purple. It actually calls it pink, but it's actually more of a dark purple.
But
So,
you know,
a lot of nice colors.
People, again, for those who think that negative on Indian pens, I have to contradict that because I've dealt with a lot of Indian pens lately, and they've come out to be really quality, well-made pens, and I'm really impressed with them.
Yeah, both you and our friend Troy have reviewed this, Troy LeBlanc, and really good reviews, you know.
So yeah. I stand behind Click 100%. They've done it top-notch job. Yeah.
Everybody knows about my no hassle 30-day warranty. No problem. You don't like anything, you just return it.
So what else do you have now besides that to Click? Anything in that category?
Okay. So that would be the pens in the under 50 category. The only other one that I would add about is the special edition Plaisir, which are $40 because of the color choices. This is their night pens, they call them, because on the ends of the pens, they have different finishes on them. So they do charge you double the price.
Now, what is that pen called again?
Plaisir Night Edition. They have a pink night, a black night, and a blue night.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
some people are like, why would I want to spend $40 for a Plaisir when I could buy a standard one for 20? They're limited edition. They only made certain editions of these. And so, yeah. So if you are a platinum Plaisir pre-font preppy collector,
Really? Okay.
this is one of your Grail pens, basically.
Wow, cool. All right. Tell us a little bit about that one then. Tell us about the nib. Does it come with the converter? Talk to me here. Yes, yes. I'm excited. That's cool.
Okay. It does not come with a converter. Same.
Again, you can buy a
No.
converter for it.
I apologize. Check me on that. This one does come with a converter for $40.
It does come with a converter. Okay.
Apologies. This one will come with a converter. The standard Plaisirs won't. This comes with a converter. This comes in the same size, 0.03 or 0.05, fine or medium. They don't do extra fines in these lines. They only really offer the extra fine is the 0.02 in the preppy. But like we said, the sections switch out. You just unscrew the bodies and swap them around. But at this price point for the special edition, it will come with a converter.
Yep. Well, wow. I'm glad you point that one out.
Yes.
Huh. That's a nice one. Yep. Okay.
I did show the studios for under 100, the Lamy studios. I carry all Lamy pens under $200. That I find that best for me to carry. I do best with that. It shows in my store in general. Most of the products that I carry, I will hold items. I have a lot of inventory in my home warehouse. I was actually very lucky last year, despite our pandemic, I was able to remain open. I am home based. My shipping address is the Cherry Hill UPS store. That stayed open. That was considered essential. As long as my vendors were able to ship, I was getting product. I was able to ship. I remained open basically as a one-man pen store, as I joke about.
Right.
My overhead's a lot better. I am big. We joked about this, you and I, before this as well. I'm a one-man pen store, but I'm not small. I have a lot of inventory. I bring a lot of inventory to pen shows. I come with 5 tables worth of merchandise.
Yeah, let me stop you. Hold that thought right there. And people, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to pull anybody's leg, but when I saw Frank's inventory, and it wasn't all, it was among us. It's something that I was telling Frank, I said, Frank, why haven't you ever shown all these items you have? I mean, it's among us. I'm telling you, it's not small. We're talking huge, right? So
right.
This is why I wanted Frank on here. I think Frank needs the time to let you all know that, hey, people might think I'm a little guy, but just because I'm one person, but I'm behind the lines, I'm huge, and he really is. So you got to give the man credit. This man is, I'm telling you, big. I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, I apologize to you. We talk to each other. We know each other well. I think that's the reason why we respect and we like each other. I'm tremendously blunt, and there is a lot of politics in pens.
Yeah.
A lot of the reviewers don't do a walkthrough of me. Some reviewers intentionally avoid me because I'm not their favorite.
Right. They're just little clicks. Okay.
To be tremendously blunt, that's what happens. I know I'll probably take a hit on this here for that. That's okay. I'm out to be your favorite dealer. In case you haven't figured that out by now. If you haven't visited my site, if you haven't checked it out, you're missing out. And we're going to get into that later when we talk about me and my checkout and all that. But anyway, getting back to my tables at pen shows, I bring 5 tables. I bring, no doubt, close to 6 figures of inventory to a pen show. Not all of it, but a good bit of it. I bring boxes. I bring the warranty information. I bring boxes especially for limited edition products. I don't want you going home without the box and paperwork to the pen that you're getting.
Yeah.
I know a lot of dealers will try and avoid this. You're getting your box and paperwork. I'm an authorized dealer. I represent that distributor and that brand. So I let you leave with everything you're entitled to get. You're welcome to bring it home. a lot of dealers, a lot of reviewers lately have been paying attention to me, mainly because I am the biggest dealer now at most pen shows. I bring the biggest spread to pen shows. Troy did a walkthrough. You could sign that on his site. An Inky guy did a review. Adam, Fully Love, who's also been a popular pen pal with us, did a review. He did a walkthrough.
Yeah.
People were like, wow, I didn't realize how much stuff you have or how big you are. I've been going to pen shows for 5-6 years now, and I'm up to 5 tables now. I've been 5 tables for the past year or two. I started with 2, jumped to 3, then to 4. Now I'm up to 5. I don't want to get any bigger than 5. It's unmanageable. My brother and I are the main people at pen shows.
Right.
Sometimes more of my family come. But it is a family operation. My family helps me out tremendously. My brother's my #1 guy. We joke about Mark all the time.
Yeah,
Larry,
love
you always
Mark.
call
Yeah,
him Marky Boy and all that,
Yeah, you got to go, when you go to a pen show, you got to meet Marky. Just say, Larry said, you're Marky? Yeah, he'll love that. He's a great guy. I love Marky. Marky's cool.
But people are always like, I didn't realize how much stuff you have or how many brands you carry. And we're going to get into that later with me and my walkthrough and all. If you visit my own YouTube channel, don't worry, Larry, I'm not competing. I did a walkthrough. I've talked about a couple of other little things. That's all I really intend to do with my YouTube channel. I did do a walkthrough of my site. I showed people how easy it is to shop at my site. I showed people how easy it is to save at my site. And we're going to get into that. Despite what I talked about earlier about what I can discount, what I can't discount, that does not have anything to do with once you get to my cart. Once you get to my cart page, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about things that you can do on my cart page to save even more.
And again, let me say it again, that I'm going to be doing more than just this interview with Frank, because he's got so much to talk about, so much to share. It's really incredible. And if you're really a pen enthusiast, you really want to sit down and you really want to listen to the man. Okay, it just don't blow him off. The man's incredible. Really, you have to get to know this guy, and then you say, you know what, Larry's not crazy. Frank's a pretty cool guy. But when you meet Marky, you'll love Marky. Yeah. Kiss him on his bald head. But go ahead. Yeah. I apologize, Marky. I apologize.
Oh, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Too good. Too funny. All right. We went up to $100. Let's talk about pens that are under $300. And I got 2 here. Speaking of Visconti, we talked about earlier, let's get into Visconti's Van Gogh pens. Let's talk about the Van Gogh collection,
let's do.
Which does list for $325 now. I had them on the site for $250. We have several Van Goghs, and the Van Gogh pen is a steel nib. It's a box steel nib, but for the price point, you have to hold a Van Gogh to feel and appreciate it. It is a multi-faceted pen. There are multiple facets on this pen. There are sides to it. I think there are 12 sides to it, and it's multifaceted. It has a magnetic closure. Some people aren't crazy about a steel grip, but that's up to you. There is no friction here, unless you got oily. Right. Unless you got oily, sweaty fingers, it's not going to run off.
It's a great
box
pen.
steel. We'll get into that. Visconti does make their own in-house gold nibs now. That is a cost move, and I see a lot more manufacturers doing that. We already know that a lot of brands make their own nibs. Lamy makes their own nibs of the 2000 pen, and their gold nibs. Aurora makes their own gold nibs. Visconti now makes them. Pilot, Platinum makes their own gold nibs. They can actually do this cheaper, and Visconti has joined that group that makes their own in-house nibs. And I actually do see more and more brands doing that. Not that Bach and Jovo are going to go out of business. They're going to be able to offer gold nibs to smaller houses, to independent makers, etc.
Yeah.
But the Visconti Van Gogh is a great product line. They are named after Van Gogh paintings. We have the Red Vineyard. We have the Souvenir of Mauve, pinkish mauve pen.
That's a pretty one.
Yeah. We have Sunflowers, which is actually an old model. There are a couple older products that I have a special purchase from Coles of London. Coles of London is the U.S. Visconti distributor. We all buy from Coles. There was some talk on Pen Farms about, we don't trust Coles of London. Well, that's a shame because your favorite dealer trusts Coles of London. That's the distributor. We all buy from Coles. I really don't know why. Like I said, getting back to my statement about politics and pens, a lot of it has to do because people really don't know. They're not aware of who we are, who your dealers are, who your dealers buy from, who your dealers must buy from, because the manufacturer has licensed agreements to distributors. Kohl's is actually a very good distributor. They're good to everybody.
Remember, you brought them on the show here. We had them on at one time, Kohl's of London. They've been on.
Sure.
Fine people. I mean, they have high standards.
You had John. Sure.
Yeah.
Kohl's.
I think you want people like that with high standards. I wouldn't want them with mediocre standards.
We want distributors like Kohl's because Kohl's plays by the rules.
Yeah. They
sell product to the dealers. There are some distributors out there that try to undercut dealers and sell directly. I'm learning that more and more as I go through, and as the more years I sell, the more I realize, okay, I need to deal more with this distributor and less with this one. I'm getting to that point.
Yeah.
And my product line evolves. I have dropped brands. I drop brands that I personally don't believe in. I drop brands that I feel aren't selling. I've dropped brands that I feel that the distributor is not looking out for me. So a lot of your favorite pen dealers have moved past pen shows, a lot to do because of this reason. And Kohl's is a great distributor. There's other brands too. I've helped you. We've brought distributors in together. If I bring that distributor in with you, I believe in that distributor. We're gonna get more into that. Luxury brands, a family business.
Family.
We had Bryce on too for Platinum. And Colorverse and all. That's a family distributor. They sell. They treat me. They treat Anderson. They treat Goulet well. I'm not going to get into who doesn't. I'm not going to go there. That's not what we're here for. But you'll see that more and more as you go along. If you attend a lot of pen shows, you'll discover what I'm talking about. And time will tell that. Some distributors have lost their license rights to carry brands because of these very reasons. So that is one of my picks under the 300 line. It is 325 list. They've had a price increase, of course. They used to be under 300. Everything is going up. Supply chain is mandating that.
Now you do have the Pilot Vanishing Point under 200, don't you?
I have the Pilot Vanishing Point. Yep. The Pilot Vanishing Points do list for $199.99 now, and they're $160. The Decimo is the more narrow version of that. People are always like, why would I want a Decimo? Well, honestly, both the Decimo and the Vanishing Point both use the same nib unit. They both use that 18-karat Pilot nib point that takes that click for the Vanishing Point retractable pen.
Right.
The difference is the Decimo has the same circumference as the original Namiki faceted does. If you don't like the Vanishing Point, if you don't like the width of it, there's no need to do a cliptography, whatever you call it, taking the clip off it.
Right.
You could buy the Decimo.
Yeah.
The Decimo gives you the same nib point, actually for $10 less, and it gives you that same circumference, that little less width that the old original Namiki faceted did.
Right. right, exactly. Yeah, I've got the Decimo too. Yeah, great pen. Yeah.
So that is one of my picks for the under 300.
Okay.
While we're on the subject of Pilot, let's talk about the Custom 823, which is the model that I do carry. I carry all Pilot pens under this price point. I carry Custom 823s. I carry Custom 912s. I carry Custom 74s. I carry Vanishing Points, Decimos, and everything under that 2 pen shows. I did get to meet the executives of Pilot. Pilot USA in Jacksonville, Florida, has new management. We actually did the tour of Pilot after the Miami Pen Show back in July. I met the executives there. We actually had a great walkthrough. I've eaten dinner with the Pilot execs at most pen shows since. I'm going to see them guys again in a couple weeks in Detroit. I am the big dealer at the Detroit Pen Show. I'm actually hosting some door prizes. I'm giving away click pens at the Detroit show. If you're anywhere near that area, people from Chicago, people from Columbus come to the Detroit show as well. Looking forward to that show. I carry Custom 823s. Now, the downside to the 823 is Pilot USA only gets 2 colors. This is something that Pilot Japan has mandated. They only send us the amber ones, and they only send us the smoke ones. There are other colors. Normally, they're custom colors for dealers in Japan and Taiwan and China and those makers, but we get 2. Now, I prefer to keep these sealed because this is how they come from Pilot. If you do want me to open that, I'll do that basically at shows or stuff like that. But I keep it closed. This is the amber. This is the medium. I have all of them. I will buy fine, medium, and broad in the amber and smoke as I sell them. I always have at least one of these on hand. I bring all 6 of them to a show. I have a separate container that I just bring all of them. So people are like, do you have custom 823s? Yes. What nib point do you want? Amber, smoke, fine, medium, or broad. It is a $360 retail list. And we all sell it roughly for $288, $290, thereabouts. I do have it for $299 on this site. And I'm going to demonstrate why a little later. And people are always like, sometimes, why is Frank, $10 more for some of his pens? Why is that? Well, Frank has a couple secrets about his site, which I'm going to reveal to you as we go along towards the end. Let's keep going on with our pens and we'll get to that. So that is Frank's pen points for certain pen points. Pens now, that are under $1,000 after this price point. Obviously, I would talk about the Visconti pens, the Opera Carousel, the Divina that I could sell for that price point, even though it lists for $1,200. Obviously, the Homo Sapiens pens. Larry, your favorite pen, the Homo Sapien. You have bought all of the lava colors from me. Yeah.
And automatically when they're out, just order me one because I'm going to get it.
I know.
Yeah.
We're at that point. I know.
Yeah,
I know you love them.
Story. I just love them. I mean,
they offer them to you. I discount them at 20%. Honorable mentions. I want to get into here. Pelican. I want to get into Pelican. I bought along Pelican 600 and 800 pens. We could always talk about 200 and 400 pens too, but I bought these pens price point. It comes in the display again. I bring that along. I have the Vibrant Orange still, which is actually
that's a beautiful, gorgeous, dude. Yeah. Is that the 600?
This is the 600. Yep.
Right.
This is the 600. It lists for $550. I got it for $450 on the site, and take $100 off. And I also have the latest 600 pen, which is the green white. The green white comes in a different presentation. It comes in one of the little shoestring containers. They did this with the pink and the violet as well, which are sold out. This is their green white pen, which is the latest color. These are also on the site.
Okay, okay.
This is 600. 600 points have 14 karat nibs in extra fine, fine, medium, and broad. I have them
Okay.
ready for delivery. I also have the 800 pen in the Blue Dunes. They haven't come out with anything new in the 800 line as of yet. I still have Blue Dunes. People are still looking for Ocean Swirl. Again, Ocean Swirl is a pen that is long sold out from your dealers. You need to buy that third party. So the Ocean Swirl is here. The Blue Dunes actually is here. This is also a really lovely shade of blue that has some transparency to it. This is the 800 Blue Dune. These are 18 karat nibs. These are a little larger than your 600s. I think, Larry, you'll remember one time that I did review all these.
Yeah.
One of our Zooms together, yeah. So this is a 600 pen compared to an 800.
Right.
So the 600 is almost as large as the 800.
Right.
14 karat, 18 karat. The 1000 pen is 18 karat and wider, more girth than the 800. That's what makes them different. The 400 pen is smaller. It's roughly the same size as the 200, except it has a 14 karat nib.
Now, let's go to Pelican for a minute. The when they end with, correct me if I'm wrong, let's see if I get this right. When they end with the 0, they have gold trim. When they end with other than that, they have the silver trim. Is that right?
They're different size. There might be vermeil, right? It might be platinum. It might be chrome.
Yeah.
It might be exactly. Yes. 600, 800 are gold trim pens. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
And I haven't seen yet one bad, ugly Pelican yet. They're all just so pretty. I mean, they're good looking pens, and I think they all come at a fair price.
They do. Gold nib pens again. Different prices. You can buy a 600 pen for about $500. You can buy an 800 for about $600. Depends. Usually about $100 more for the 14 to the 18 karat jump. It is a bigger nib, more gold content, more grams. And that's what we're getting at. So yeah, depends on the size of the pen, things of that nature, what it's made of, not just Pelican for most brands. So I wanted to make Pelican my honorable mention for the higher price points. I also have Aurora. I'm proud to carry Aurora brands. I have a Blue Mamba on hand. It is not on the site. You are welcome to inquire about that pen. I do have pens that I just don't have the time or don't have the inventory. If I have 2 or 3 of them, I don't bother putting them on the site. You are welcome to ask me about that. I represent that brand. I am authorized to sell everything they sell, providing it's new and available. I can sell it. You're welcome to inquire to me about these brands. If I have it, I will certainly sell it. I will tell you my price.
By chance, do you carry Aurora?
I do. I'm sorry. I just got done saying I do carry Aurora.
Yeah.
And I do have that. And I have Auroras that are limited edition, special edition, that are on the site, and also maybe not on the site. Like I said, I just got done saying it depends on my count. If I only carry a couple of them, I'll tend not to put them on the site. I'll bring them to shows, or I'll wait for my loyal customers to ask me about it. I do tend to do that. I have a few loyal customers that know they can come to me for specific products that might not be available anymore from other dealers, mainly because people don't think about coming to me for that product. And you know what? I'm actually okay with that. That makes me more exclusive sometimes. That allows me to do things with products that maybe other dealers can't. Am I going to purposely go out there and try and overcharge you for a pen? Certainly not. But if I do become the only dealer with a certain pen, which happens to me from time to time, that doesn't mean I can't sell it to you for lists. And I will tend to be the guy that does that. If you don't take advantage of selling the pen, buying the pen off me at a discount when it first comes out, great. If I become the only dealer with that product, I will not become the guy that overcharges you, but I will become the guy that does not discount it. I've done that more than once.
Okay. What else you got for us?
I have honorable mentions about paper and ink.
You have a what now?
Go ahead. I wanted to get into some paper and ink.
Okay.
Everyone knows that Tomoe River is being discontinued,
Uh-huh.
but I do want you to know that I have a good supply. My U.S. distributor is Sake, S-A-K-E-E, technical paper. I work with the official U.S. distributor of Sake paper. I don't deal with the other one. I deal with Sake paper. So I do have an ample supply of the original 52 gram. As long as my supplier has original 52 gram, I will continue to sell it. When that ends, I will most likely stop selling it. I have A5 notepads. I have A4, the larger notepads. I have A5 journals. My pads at A5 are $20. They're on the site. My A4 sizes are $28 instead of $30. My journals are $24. I also have the much larger Tomoe River journal that they offer. I don't make my own custom journals because honestly, Sake does their own, and there's no reason for me to do that. I don't have to mess with that. I don't have to risk, putting out an inferior product, worrying about how it's bound and who bounds it and all that. I work with them directly. They guarantee it. These are $50 journals. You've probably seen these before. Again, because they are there and they're becoming fewer and fewer. I have them. I have ample stock. I'm actually going to be buying more stock from my distributor again, as long as it's available. I'll continue to do so. Ink I showed you before. I have the new Pelican Golden Burrow ink, the ink with shimmer and sheen. Had we had a Pelican hub this year, I am the Pelican hub master for Philadelphia, I would have had ink to give away. Of course, we don't have that this year, but we are going to have one next year. We are going to be returning to some degree of normalcy, quote, quote, next year. We're going to have all of our pen shows. We may still have to mask up and distance, and that's going to be just fine. We're going to do whatever the state and county and hotel that we go to mandates us to. We're going to do that. We're going to get our booster shots, and things like that. And we're going to be just fine.
Here's one I thought. Do you carry the Faber-Castell?
I don't carry Faber-Castell, no.
Okay. All right, let's talk about, do you carry ballpoint pens or botanical pencils? Do you have refills for these?
Certainly. Yep. Before I have refills for rollerballs, ballpoints, mechanical pencils. I was into rollerballs for years, long before I got into fountain pens. So yeah, I have these products. They're not as requested as much, obviously. I am, mostly fountain pen, and I am a user every day of fountain pens.
Yeah.
Thanks for that segue. It gave me a chance to talk about my own passion. I'm into vintage pens. I use vintage more than I do new, personally. I am a user of fountain pens. I still tutor students. I don't teach full-time. I teach only a course or two from time to time now. I'm an adjunct basically for my local county college. So that gives me plenty of time because that only takes up a few hours a week for me. And I also tutor still from time to time to keep my credential going. And I like helping kids. I tutor special needs kids from middle school, high school. I still do that. And I'm always writing. So I use fountain pens. And among my favorites are Estabrooks. I actually tend to collect rare and unusual Estabrooks. I will sell a J Esterbrook, an LJ, an SJ. You come to I don't have them on my site, mainly because it really depends on how much I have and all that. But you come to my show, I will have parts, I will have nibs, not only of Esterbrook, I will have Parker and Schaefer and even Wool Ever Sharp parts. stuff that I tend to collect. I will buy these things at auction. I will buy them at pen show auctions. Pen show hosts know that I am a big buyer of vintage stuff because they know whatever I tend to buy, I tend to keep. But sometimes I will sell. So I'm big on having, Esterbrook dollar pen, deluxe pens, pens that are worth several $100s, not your standard J or LJ pen that can use that nib, because Pelican was one of the first brands that used interchangeable nibs.
Yeah.
So I will have that along with Pelican. I'll have rare and unusual. I'll buy pens that you don't see, again, common. This is a Visual Master, actually generation 3, that has no ink window, with maybe a rare and unusual nib. They tend to have 3000 series nibs that are osmiridium, or 8000 series nibs. Again, getting back to Esterbrook nibs, everybody knows that if it is a 1000 series nib at 1555 gray or 2000 nib, the popular ones being the 2556 or the 2668, they are metal folded over. Sometimes it's the metal of the nib itself folded over twice, but you need to move into a 9000 series nib to get an iridium point or an osmiridium point, the 3000 line. There's nothing wrong with those nibs. The 2668 nib and the 2556 nibs are tremendous. They're common workhorses. I always have them new old stock to sell. I live in Camden County. We are, I'm here in Mount Laurel. One town above Cherry Hill, which my mailing address is. We're here at we're a couple miles from the Esterbrook factory in Cherry Hill. We are 6-7 miles from Camden, New Jersey, where the Esterbrook factory stood for 100 years, just across the river from Philadelphia. I am always finding new old stock things. I'm always running into people. My grandfather worked for the Esterbrook factory, where I'll find this stuff in antique shops. So it's plentiful.
Okay, hold it right there. Now, let the people know that are new, that are getting into vintage about these Esterbrook's. Tell them the size nibs. Tell them tell them the filling systems they use real quickly.
Well, most Esterbrook's used levers. They were lever fill, and there are some that are rare and unusual. Again, like this first generation Visual Master, it has a ink window, which was very odd for Esterbrook. Even more rare for Esterbrook was to be a button filler.
Wow. Okay.
Again, pens that I will go out of my way to buy. That actually is frozen. I am not messing with that pen. I'm not. Drop the blind cap.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
that's okay.
these pens are for sale.
But I'm not messing with that. I'm not opening it, and
Right.
I can dip it if I want to play with it. Sorry, that blind cap's fine.
I do that all the time. So
it's that Bakelite, that Esterbrook does. That's basically nearly indestructible. Just don't step on it, and you're fine. And all kinds of rare and unusual Esterbrook there. Esterbrook from World War II. That was like a torpedo shape. Again, something you didn't find. Very common. That used a standard Esterbrook type nib. And then you got the stub nibs too. 9314 nib. That was actually a stub. If I do a better job at isolating.
Well, that's the first time I've seen one of those.
First time you've ever seen a 9000 series stub?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Huh. That's a hunker nib.
There it is.
Huh. All right.
So yeah, that I like to collect rare and unusual things. I always like demonstrators. I recently got myself a Snorkel demo.
Huh.
In the last year.
Okay, that's what one
original Snorkel Demonstrator.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Interesting.
Snorkel.
Yeah.
Kids from the 50s would, take this and shoot ink across and annoy their classmate,
But
Snorkel.
that's a dynamite pen. That I have one. Mine's not a demo, but I do have one, and I love it. And I had to try that. I was outside, and I had to try that little squirt thing. I did.
I have my little display here of rare and unusual.
Now, do you sell your collection, or you're not?
No, I don't.
Taboo.
I will sell vintage pens from time to time to help offset what I spent on things, but the common stuff. Another rare and unusual Esterbrook is actually their vac filler from the 50s and their Safari pen. Their Safari pen. So a Safari vac pen from the 50s that had a vac filler.
I'll be
There's no
darned.
living ever again. So again, rare and unusual is my interest in Esterbrook, and I'll buy all Esterbrook, that I can, and I'll keep what I like, and then I'll tend to sell the rest. So if you are looking for Esterbrook, give me a holler. You never know.
Yeah,
Parts, things like that.
When you're in the mood, yeah.
Also, another brand besides Schaefer and all that I particularly love, and a model in particular, are the Wall Eversharp, the Skyline. This is the Dreyfus pen. Dreyfus designed Art Deco. He was a big Art Deco designer in the 30s and 40s, and he created this streamlined pen in the 40s with Wall, Leverfill pen. And this is the Skyline, deluxe with gold-filled cap. And Wall nibs are actually really, really nice. You may have seen Wall nibs, Equipoise, Doric, Skyline, Symphony, all these types of pens. But my favorite is the Skyline. I even have the gold-filled Skyline.
Well, that's a pretty one. Yeah, look at that one.
Yeah, so all gold, even the Derby. There's always talk about these Derby. This is actually like a 4-piece cap. This cap is interesting and very hard to repair and keep intact. This is a piece. The clip is a separate piece. The Derby above it, here's a piece, and the inner cap.
Okay.
So these get hard to keep in place, and it's always nice to find one that's well behaved.
Pretty pen. That is pretty, though. That really is. Yep.
And you'll see Wall has its double check there. Its sign of excellence. It's there for its W as a double check. We're supposed to be Wall Eversharp. This is the same company, Wall, men's products. They were a pen and pencil company in the 20s, 30s, 40s. In 1957, they sold the pen and pencil division off to Parker. And with that, they started getting into small electrics. And it's the Wall company that we know today that makes razors and shavers and trimmers, but this is how they started. But anyway, there's debate about, when Parker bought Wall, how much did they learn? What did they get? What did they benefit from them? And there was always debate whether or not Wall created the cartridge pen, So I have a couple of early Parker 45 demos in my collection as well, which are oddballs. They both have the very early converters, which actually have a red turning knob, which most people, don't believe even exist, let alone looking at them now. But one of mine says Wall on it. So besides saying, the other one says Parker, but the other one actually says Wall. So it says Wall Parker on it. Actually, both symbols are on it. So that really leads me to believe that most likely Wall probably created this pen and Parker just stamped their name on it
Yeah.
and took the credit. So I really am more inclined to believe that, seeing something like this early from the late 50s. Also, Wall was one of the first ballpoint pens. They created the CA pen, the capillary action, which was early ballpoints. And I have another favorite Wall of mine called the Fifth Avenue, which was a late 40s Wall pen. I have the fountain pen here, and I also have a CA pen, capillary action ballpoint. Now, I will tell you that I cheated. If you take a lathe and you bore out the opening just a little bit, you can fit modern roller balls into this. And that's what I did. And that's how I make my Wall, Fifth Avenue ballpoint work daily.
I've heard in the past.
It's now a roller ball for me.
Yeah.
I actually did this years ago. I actually did this even before I was a retailer. This is a lot of my collection are from my early days. And I did get this as a set. And a lot of my collecting vintage has to do with me catching up with my rollerball collection. Because like I told you, when I started, I was buying a lot of rollerball pens. And then I started buying fountain pens to catch up with a lot of my rollerball collection.
Right.
So I have both. But yeah. So I did that. And that's what I've done. And again, I'm a big user. I have a couple hundred pens in my own collection. I have hundreds of new pens, but I have a couple hundred pens in my own collection, and well over 100 of them are vintage. I might have about 150 vintage and maybe 50 new in my collection, give or take percentage-wise. So I'm a user. I use pens all the time. I use pens daily, and I like using fountain pens.
Okay.
Getting back to my site, I did post on my YouTube channel a walkthrough. It's a little lengthy. It's 10 minutes long, but if you take the time and check it out, you'll learn a few things. You'll learn that you can save money on my site more than you already see. I can't get into specifics of that, but if you go to the cart once you've bought something and you enter some of my discount codes, you can save an additional $5, $10, 5%, 10%, depending on which one you use. Each one can only be used once, but I have a lot. One of them we all know and love is Larry. Right, Larry? We have one Larry.
Yeah, just use that one.
If you buy things on the site and you enter Larry at my cart page, you can save an additional 10% off over what you've already saved. It has nothing to do with what you have selected. This has nothing to do with the products you've chosen. There's no backlash for me about, have I discounted more? I have, but it has nothing to do with that particular product. This even involves products that I can't discount. You can save more money. So you could, in theory, save even more money than what your favorite dealer is offering you. You just have to know about it. Once you become my customer, I will send you on my first receipt a code to save again. I will send you newsletters from time to time about other discount codes that I have. You can enter codes for pen forums, for pen publications. I have easily 10 to 12 discount codes out there at any given time, plus ones that I introduce for holidays and things like that. Pen Day, free shipping day, etc. Cyber Monday, again, all that stuff's coming up soon. We're getting ready for that. Again, if you haven't checked my site out, you should. Save some money.
Well, Frank, we're going to stop here, but I want to bring you back again, and we're going to continue this conversation because it's pretty deep. It's very interesting, and you've got a lot still to share. People don't know it, but I want to cover later when I talk to you again about codes. I want to cover about your vintage pens. I want to cover more about your inks, and I want to cover more about some of your pens that are less known, and I'll get back to you about that. But you got so much more I want to talk to you about later, about ballpoint pens, mechanical pencils, refills. There's just a bunch of stuff that we need to talk about that I want to start bringing it out. I need to bring it out, at least for me, because there's just so much of it. You're like a dinosaur back there with all this stuff. It just, you know, I'm a pen person. Anything to do with pens, because we haven't even covered yet the pen cases yet, the accessories yet. We haven't covered none of that stuff yet. And I want to do that again on another show. Cool?
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds great. I'm glad you had me. Thanks for having me. I always enjoy our time together. Pen pals, check it out.
Give Marky a big hug.
I will. And Dee Dee.
I'll give her a kiss. Give Dee Dee a kiss. No kisses from Marky. No, he's been bad. I'll give him my best, man. Marky's a good guy, man. He really is. Marky's just, I don't know, just a really, you got a good brother.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really,
I know I do.
You know, like the Everly brothers. Yeah. Okay. All right, my friend, we're going to stop for now, but we will catch you again. Let's see, next month sometime. Well, we'll get together and get a date on that. Okay. Okay, folks. Again, thank you everybody for joining Frank and myself on my Zoom channel. Again, this is Frank at Federalist Pens and Papers. You might want to check out his site. And if you're not clear about the codes, you can always text or email Frank and he'll share them with you. But we will get into depth about codes, definitely, because it's all about savings. All right. All right, Mr. Frank, thank you much. God bless you, my friend.